Jerry. How are you?
Pretty good.
Great. Wow, you guys really did a great job with this place.
Yeah, we finally finished this one.
Yeah, from the time that you started, I mean, it looks fantastic. I can see some of the changes that you made here. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, if you remember, we added lighting on the staircase, and the Medusa light was one of the biggest challenges that we had because it took like 8 hours of time just to assemble it.
Right, and then to get the ladder tall enough to hang that up.
Yeah.
And I remember when we first started with this project, there was kind of an enclosure up here that we took down to really give extra volume here. That was really
right. And once we took that enclosure down, we realized that this wall was so huge. So one of the things that the client wanted us to do was add some texture to that wall. We tried different textures, which didn't seem to work very well. So I came up with this idea to add exterior siding on this wall, and we laid it horizontally and then built a frame around it, so it kind of highlighted the texture of the wall itself.
So. Right, so it's a different texture, but it's looks like it's all
and he really enjoys it, you know. And as you can see when you walk in the house, it's something that pops out at you with the light on.
Right. It really highlights the Medusa lamp and just calls attention right to this part of the house. That's awesome.
So here we go into the kitchen. And if you remember this kitchen, Dave, one of the issues we had that was so overwhelming with the excessive granite backsplashes.
I do. I remember it being very dark and small. So it looks like you pulled out the kitchen. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, we only added about 2 feet to this kitchen. And how we did it was moving this island out. And by adding that little small square footage of just 2 feet, we managed to move his whole peninsula back. We arched this peninsula to make it look kind of more of a modern design than what he had before. So, you know, and then everybody thinks we added windows, but we actually didn't add any windows. The windows it was so dark in the corner with cabinetry and stuff, we just kind of...
Right, I remember that, and it was really dark and small over here in this corner. And you just kind of open it all up so that now it feels real bright here. And
the pantry door, we added a glass to it, a glass door, so it kind of gives it some depth perception, and it turned out really, really well. And the customer's very, very happy.
Yeah, well, I can imagine. I know when when I helped him buy the house, that was one of the things that he was trying to find was the perfect home, but it was just hard to find exactly what he wanted. So we ended up buying a home at a lower price and then having you come in and fix it all up. So I think that was great.
Right. It was a great challenge. When we worked through it with the client, you know, added some extra lighting, you know, put new floors, baseboards, painted. You know, we weren't going to paint the whole house, but we ended up painting the whole house because once you start, you know, adding new and leaving something old, it kind of started to clash with each other. So
that's true. When it's all new, it highlights the old.
Kind of dress it up, put crown molding up. Just some little touches that added a lot of value to us.
Right. Visually, it certainly made it look good. These floors were fantastic.
Yeah, one of the other challenges that he had, well, he wasn't really a challenge, but he had a piece of furniture that was actually a tree trunk. And he was wondering, you know, what to actually put in this powder room. So I looked at it and I said, wow, maybe I can make you a sink.
Yeah, I remember
so
that.
So we took that tree trunk and we actually designed him a sink by cutting a hole in the top of the trunk and then putting a sink in here. And then we ended up tiling up this whole wall all the way to the top, which gives it a great modern feel to the home.
Right, which is exactly the style that he was looking for. And now he has a custom vanity.
Yeah, that nobody else has.
No one else has in his powder room, so that's phenomenal. Okay.
Yeah, so shall we take a walk upstairs and...
Sure.
So as if you remember, he wanted this fireplace, or actually he had a fireplace here.
Right.
But it was so far out and protruding into the room, so we pushed it back, added this complete granite slab, and inserted a fireplace for him.
So I remember this. It was like a 3-way fireplace right here.
Correct.
But it really dated the house because it looked very original, and so you guys ended up putting this modern look by having a slab here and then just inserting the fireplace, which also opened up the sitting area too.
Right, and we also added recessed lighting up here, put a rope lighting inside with some crown molding. You know, just small little things to dress the house up.
Right, really customized.
We also built this niche here for his flat screen TV.
Right.
And put a little cubby hole here for all his electronics, so you really don't see them when you're walking into the room.
Yeah, I remember that.
So here we go to the master bathroom, which is one of the things that that you had some input in and ideas and.
Yeah, because I remember when we first bought the house, this whole area just had a lot of kind of funky angles.
Correct.
And so it was, how do you incorporate the tub and the shower, the toilet area, the sink area, as well as the closet, because the room itself had a lot of angles and twists and turns. So when we opened it all up, there was a real challenge to do that. And then I think when we were looking at the overall design, all those angles really kind of felt a little bit odd. So I remember thinking through it, and that's when we came up with the idea of putting the oval ceiling, and the oval or the circular part of it really took away from all of the angles.
Right, because it brings you to a focal point in the room that kind of takes you off with all the corners that are going on in
You
here.
just tied it all in together. So I think, but you
As
guys
you
did
remember,
really
these
great.
sinks too were also another piece of furniture that he purchased, that we actually designed them. This is actually supposed to be like a desktop.
Right.
And he purchased these, and we actually assembled them and made them into a sink. Put these glass tops on top of them, and I think it came out really, really nice.
Yeah, I know that he was really pleased with that as well. And then the big shower with the massage feature, as well as the rain feature. I think that was really nicely done too. That was a great recommendation on your part.
Yeah, and actually his shower head changes colors when he turns the water on, so that's really a great feature for him.
Yeah. So, boy, well, I mean, I think it was a great, it was a great opportunity for the buyers or the owners, because they were able to get into the neighborhood they wanted at a price point that they could afford, and then left enough room to do all of this, make the house exactly what they wanted, and come out ahead in the neighborhood they wanted. The value of the home is way more than what they paid for it and then what they paid for the improvements, and it's exactly what they wanted.
Right.
So I think it was great. Thanks for showing us around.
No problem. Thanks, Dave.